Hey guys, just a real quick market update today. I know I've been missing in action here. I've had an extremely busy last week or so, and I was out of town this weekend with family for Canadian Thanksgiving, all that sort of stuff. But I'm here for one quick market update. It's going to be very quick. I just wanted to go over that I personally don't think that Bitcoin's in too bad of a position here. Not much has changed from my end as far as macro analysis goes. You guys know I've been quite vocal about this daily chart here. We are still trading at my support box, which I've had outlined since back here at the end of June or so. And the fact that we're getting so many bullish divergences across many different indicators. Here, the MDX Algo 3 indicator has some bullish divergences. The MDX Oscillator 5 has all sorts of bullish divergences showing up in the charts here. And as well, even looking at the RSI, we obviously have quite a strong bullish divergence here. And you can see that we're not even close to this upward sloping trend line here on the support of the RSI. So, I mean, that's quite a divergence in my opinion. And if this was a shorter time frame, I just want to go over this. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions, backtest your own patterns. But me personally, this is one of my favorite long setups to look for in the market. If this was a 5 or a 15-minute chart, I'd be looking to long the piss out of it right now because, as I mentioned, we have this horizontal support with all kinds of bullish divergences coming out the ass. But on top of that, we also have this downward sloping trend line all the way from our all-time highs. And I mean, that's obviously a very important level in the market. So the fact that we're breaking a downtrend line and testing the horizontal support with all those bullish divergences, that is just absolutely one of my favorite bullish trades to make. So even though, yes, it'll take a long time to play out here because this is a daily chart, I think a lot of people are quick to get very impatient. You know what? The fact that we broke this downtrend line but never went straight to the moon, you know what? We're actually forming something healthy here and trading down along our old resistance, testing it as support. It's actually very healthy in my opinion, the fact that we're doing this, but people are quick to think that, you know what, the bulls aren't pulling the trigger, so that's the end of this rally. Well, you know what, the bears also aren't pulling the trigger, so I don't think anything's changed. As far as I'm concerned, we are still trading at support as long as we're at this green box. If that changes, we dump below this, flip it into resistance, absolutely everything changes. But you know what? We are still trading at support. Not only are we testing this downward sloping trend line, flipping that from resistance into support, but it looks like we're actually starting to pull away from it. I mean, you can see that the price looks like it's trying to pull away, and the fact that it's pulling away right at my support box is absolutely beautiful in my opinion. Really, we could even drop down into this support box and I would still be bullish. I actually see a lot of reason why, you know what, if we would end up dropping towards the bottom of the support box and lining up with this downward sloping old resistance line, flip it into support, I think this would be an absolutely beautiful spot to find support and absolutely springboard up to the upside. Not saying we have to drop into this box. I don't really want to see it because, you know what, we're already tapping away at it so much. But the fact is, right now, you know what, we are still trading at support. We have all these bullish divergences. We never just got this breakout and then faked out right back down and then, you know what, flip that resistance or that, well, new support into resistance once again. We're not seeing anything like that. We're just not really gaining momentum yet, but we're not losing it. You know, it kind of looks to me like the bulls are starting to try and take the wheel here and just kind of start shifting momentum a little bit. But like I said, it's a daily chart. It might take a while to play out. I've been very vocal about this level for many reasons. Going to my Bitcoin cheat sheet chart here, you know, we have this previous market cycle all-time high. We had some consolidation on our parabolic bull run there. So to see this level flip from resist to support would also just be absolutely beautiful. In hindsight, I mean, if this is the bottom and we just end up starting to trade higher from here and start a bull run, it would look so obvious in hindsight. I mean, it always does, but that just looks like one of those things that other previous market cycles have done. We get our final capitulation, trade sideways, get some sort of bullish divergences. We get these patterns in the RSI playing out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Bitcoin cheat sheet. There will be a link in the description down below if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, as it stands, I just don't think things are too bad. As I mentioned, this downward sloping trend line meeting up with horizontal support. We got all sorts of bullish divergences. I mean, things just don't look all too bad in my opinion. But of course, do your own research, guys. None of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at. As I mentioned, if this was a shorter time frame, I would absolutely be looking for a long position at these levels. Since it's a longer time frame, obviously you'd need a lot smaller leverage numbers and that sort of thing if you were going to just try and trade this. I like to zoom into smaller time frames, but I am definitely more interested in longing this market rather than shorting, because I just don't like the idea of shorting into support, especially with bullish divergences. But you know what, obviously anything can happen. A momentum short could absolutely play out beautifully, because you know what, there is going to be a lot of stop losses below our structure here. That could absolutely waterfall, but you know what? I don't think that I'm personally going to be willing to take that trade, even if we do drop. I think I'd be waiting for something else to form in the charts, and whether we get a pullback and, you know what, short a bounce or something like that, seeing support flip into resistance, anything like that. Yeah, absolutely. As far as the momentum, I'm just seeing a lot of potential that, you know what, even if we drop this level, I think there's a good chance we just wick right back up and just form a bit of a bear trap here, wick a lot of people out of their trades and that sort of thing. But just the fact that we have so many bullish divergences and that sort of thing, I just don't know if a sell-off would stick at these levels. It's really hard to say, you guys. Right now, the market is showing a lot of mixed signals. We're looking weak, but the bulls and the bears are both looking weak. No one really wants to pull the trigger. But until this support is broken, you guys know my theory. Support is support until it's broken. So I just have to lean bullish at these levels for all those reasons that I've outlined in this video and as well as previous videos. So just really zooming into the 15-minute chart here, I have this potential falling wedge here. I would love to see a breakout of that. If we aren't able to gain any sort of momentum out of this bit of a falling wedge here, and it's pretty messy, it's not a good one, I'm just micro-analyzing here, but if we can't gain any sort of momentum to the upside here and start eclipsing some of this resistance back here, I think it makes sense that we would kind of start dropping towards these lower fib levels of this micro swing here, kind of testing the 786 and 886 are my favorite fib levels to kind of see interacted with. It's not so bad that, you know what, right now we are kind of consolidating right on top of the 618, so that is nice to see. But yeah, quite often on swings of all sizes, I mean, I see these fib levels respected so often, so it wouldn't really surprise me to see some kind of a dump before we take off. But yeah, as far as the overall market health looks right now, I just don't think things are too bad. Like I said, we broke a very massive downtrend line, and yes, the bulls are taking a while to gather any kind of momentum, but as it stands, it does look like they are respecting that line. Once again, it never just got a fake out and just break right back down below that line. We've been trading above it for about a week now and actually pulling away at horizontal support there. I just think that looks pretty good, and it looks like a nice recipe to get some kind of a relief rally in the not too distant future here for Bitcoin. So once again, guys, if you do appreciate my outlook on the markets here, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.